Hey guys, welcome back. This is what we're building today. This is another one of those redeemed builds where you guys can tell me what to do. I'm a bit behind, so the next few videos I make will be stuff that you guys are asking me to build, which should be fun, right? Should be good. This one turned out pretty well, so I'm pretty excited. I say as I'm recording the intro before I've even started building, but anyway, I know some of you would like to know when some certain videos are coming back, right? The Build Like a Nerd series, when is the different architecture types and different worlds videos come back, all this stuff. Here's the deal. They're basically like 5 zones of content I create. There are big videos, small videos, streaming, stream clips, and then doing Pinterest boards and spreadsheets and stuff like that. The order of if I have the energy, what would I most want to do? That's the order. I would love to do big videos like Build Like a Nerd. If I can't do those, I'll do smaller videos like this one, which should take under 3 hours to prep and record. Streaming would be after that. I love streaming, but I do tend to prefer making videos and then editing stream clips for shorts and TikTok and stuff. And then Pinterest and spreadsheets, which I also enjoy, but like I'd rather make a video. The thing is, as far as energy requirement and spoons requirements and all that jazz, it is the complete opposite direction. So I just have not had the bandwidth, the energy, the spoons, whatever you want to call it, to create those larger videos recently. I want to. It just, unfortunately, life circumstances, I have not been well enough. Anyway, when you tell me what to do, you're going to get basically a checklist. You just check the boxes. So like we're building in Strangerville on a medium lot. We will be using Get to Work, Life and Death, Businesses and Hobbies, Strangerville, Perfect Patio, Home Chef Hustle, Book Nook, Modern Luxe, Cozy Bistro, and Storybook Nursery today in our 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, 20K or under starter home. It must include 1.5 bathrooms, a nursery for a baby alien, scientist career items, conspiracy theorist spy room, and it should be styled to match the Shady Acres neighborhood in Strangerville. Again, I'm behind on this, so I might be a little late. This family may have grown up already, but I'm gonna build it anyway. Thank you again to YouTube viewer RMJ for submitting this prompt. I hope you enjoy your build. This is the Shady Acres neighborhood, and we have 2 empty lots to start out with. We have a creek corner cove next to the pond over here, and we also have Cliffside Crest. These are both very nice lots. Now, generally speaking, I do try to leave some room for lot purchasing in the budget, because this lot specifically is, what did I say, 4,500? I will be trying to stay under 15,000 in this box right here, this lot value box. This reflects the value of the entire build that's on the lot. Obviously, there's nothing here right now. So I'm going to get started with just a super basic like Victorian shell. Generally, Victorian homes will have multiple rooms, so we'd have like an entryway separate from a dining room, separate from a kitchen, separate from living, so on and so forth. Now, because I want this to fit in with the neighborhood, I would love to do 2 stories. So I think I'm going to try and have an entryway with stairs right off the bat, and then we can have a nice parlor situation here, possibly a bathroom here, and then dining, a kitchen. It's not going to be super huge. In fact, 5 tiles might be a little bit too wide, but then this would leave plenty of space for a nice back deck here, and of course we'll be doing a front deck as well. And going upstairs, this area right here is a little bit of a mess. I might push this in. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this wall right here and move my stairs so that I have 2 tiles here, because that's much more usable. Anyway, this is the maximum amount of space we could use. I think I'm going to try to fit everything inside here though. A bathroom would fit really well right here, like that, and then we could have our nursery here and a larger bedroom here, possibly with a closet that has been turned into a conspiracy theory spy room. What are we at now? So like just the walls, we're at 7,000, which is nuts. Now, to keep it looking like the rest of the neighborhood, having something slightly more interesting going on with the shape would be ideal. We can do a bay window right here, and we could potentially extend this up as a tower. I'm also wondering if I need to go up to medium wall height for this to really fit in with the neighborhood, which, since it was listed in the prompt, I do need to pay some attention to that. I've also changed this around a bit, so we have the opportunity for a deck back here. A 2nd-story deck would again fit with the neighborhood. My one issue with this specific layout is I think it'd be really fun to have the spy room, so that would be nice to have this then be the like main bedroom, since I don't think the alien baby is the one having the spy room. I could have the nursery be here and maybe have this be the bathroom. It's a little bit big, and we should still be able to very easily fit a bed and nursery. I may shrink or adjust these walls walls a little bit here and there if I can, but I think that this is the shape we're going to move forward with. Roofing it should be fairly straightforward. This roof should be going this direction. Copy and rotate it this direction. Do my little roof trick there with the two separate octagons. It would look so good to have a chimney on this side. I feel like that really completes it, you know? Alright, we also need a slightly higher foundation. Probably do windows next. I'm going to be using the Strangerville windows, let's be real. Oh, I just love these things so much. I'll be going with the cheap ones. So, oh, actually, are they all cheap? Oh my gosh, what a great day this is for me. In that case, we can go with the stained glass. What colors do you think we should go with? I don't have anything listed. The town itself isn't that exciting. Ooh, the green. I do know who I'm building this for, and I think that they would appreciate that color. So we'll go with that. And then I just need to have the matching windows, which are also all 30. Okay, well that's very exciting. I'll go with this one with the slider inside. That'll give us a nice secondary wood color if we need it as well. That's how the exterior is looking. What's our money at? Gee willikers. So yeah, we will not be able to keep all of this. We have spent way too much money already. Whoops. Let's bring in some of this other stuff. And does Life and Death not have a brick that matches their foundation? It appears not. Well, that's a disappointment. And then we should be able to use siding for the rest of it. Grab some roof trim, some better shingles, switch out the half wall trim to match my roof trim. And now we need some railings. Strangerville is such a great pack for budget friendly but beautiful items. It's fantastic. Sturdy stairs, we will be using these. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to delete the underside because that cost a whole wall amount, which is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, we have no money. Alrighty. So yeah, we will definitely be having to pare down on some stuff here. I might be able to get rid of this wall as well. We need interior doors, which Strangerville does have a nice interior door that I can use, like so. And 50 for an archway. Alrighty then. I freaking love Strangerville. This is such a great pack. I think we're gonna have to revisit the size situation here. Alright, I have removed multiple tiles from the house. These rooms will still function, so they're still big enough. I've shrunk the dining room and the kitchen, so this can just be a nice galley kitchen, which will be totally fine. Another thing we could do is just get rid of this back deck, which again, not ideal, but given the budget that we're working with, it might be the best option. This wall here is also flexible. I could put it here, I could put it here. It just depends on what's gonna work better for our space, which actually, now that we don't have the door there, I think this will work fine. Oh, I was also wondering about pushing this back and having the half bathroom be like that, which would let me move the archway to the middle of this area. It really doesn't have a huge impact. It does make this space feel ridiculous though. My stairs are so big, you know? But I already have the upstairs layout pretty much where it has to be at this point, so I might just have to suffer. Let's see if we can actually complete the build with this setup, and then we'll go back in and cry some more if we have to. Because this is a starter, I know that these lights aren't like historically accurate or whatever, but they are insanely budget friendly and they light everything up really well, and we can get away with just one per room. So that's why we're making that decision. For wallpaper, we really want to stick in the $2 category as much as possible. This paneling is very pretty. I might lay this down as a base. Also, there's the question of the ceiling, because right now, if we were to do the ceiling, that would be more money. So I was thinking about the construction quality concrete and just doing a slightly darker color with that as sort of a trade-off, because painting the ceiling is going to be too expensive. Apparently I'm not allowed to paint that ceiling. The black stairs look out of place, but they're also pretty cheap. So if we were to replace them, that would be 8. Oh, I love how that worked so splendidly. Let's try that again. There we go. Money, money, money. All right, let's get the basics first. So we're going to do bathrooms, and then we're going to do the kitchen. $250, $460. This one looks better, but it is a lot more expensive. Probably just stick with this one. You can upgrade toilets. That's fine. I will do toilet paper though. And then we'll do a sink in here. I don't love these because they break so much, but also money. I feel like I don't really have much choice in the matter for our house today. And then I'll put a shower in here. Now these There's this super cheap one. I really don't love the super cheap one. I could go with this glass one, which again is very modern. It really doesn't fit the space. I feel like these should fit in pockets as well as they fit in corners. Like, look at that gap there. You know, that's not cool, man. Might also, since we have a baby, it would be nice to fit a bathtub in here. So that would be, I would delete this. I'd put the toilet over here. And then I would put the bathtub over here and the sink and mirror back in this corner, probably. Something like that. So that might be a better solution for us for the specific household. All right, and then the kitchen, we are going to be doing the refrigerator and stove over on this side, and I think we're gonna have to go with these 150. Yeah, this is $100 more. It looks way better, but we don't have money for way better. We have money for it'll do. So we're gonna do an it'll do counter right there, and we'll place a few counters, over here with a nice sink, and that will be a beautiful little galley kitchen for us. Main bedroom, what do we got? I refuse to do this one. We're not doing uncomfortable. The varnished bed has some decent swatches. Go with this one. It's very brown, isn't it? Also, I'm not convinced we can use the bed there. I think I'll put it here because your Sims can walk here and can walk here. So now we know for sure that'll work. And we can grab a dresser. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. And hopefully that works. If not, I will be sad. Anyway, there's a functional bedroom. We will make it pretty if we have the ability to. We also need a baby alien. Obviously, the travel crib is the cheapest. We'll level up though. We'll go all the way up to this guy. You can be... Oh, we can actually bring some color in again? Alright, we're just going with green. And then we need some infant stuff. I don't know that any of this is alien themed. We got space themed things. So if I put this here... Alright, and then I saw a moon one as well. We're doing 2 rugs. And then the secret to selling this as like an alien nursery is going to be in the details. The very cheap details. Ooh, there's also this solar system. This is 70. Actually, if I were to get rid of this light and use this light instead, it's on theme and it actually lights the room up just fine, I think. So here's what it would look like at night. Nice soft light. All right, let's run with that. And then we're also going to need a potty chair at some point. That is the way that it is. And some little blocks. These are 90, these are 80. Guess what we're doing? I guess that's more toddler. We're supposed to be doing infant stuff. We can use this, which is kind of like its own rug, really. So I don't really have to put that on the rug. Try and get this baby set up to grow successfully. Yeah, I think we'll probably just leave it there because that's already, I think, the most expensive room in the house. We still need living, dining, and of course, our conspiracy theorist spy room and some scientist career items. So what are specifically the scientist career items? I wonder if somebody has a gallery room. Scientist career objects. Yeah, this is what I want. I don't think we'll be able to afford all of these, but we can have a couple. We have the lamp and the momentum conserver and this thing. All right, let's put one of these here. There we go. That's the use for our deck, is the satellite dish. I want you to face this way. Thank you. And I'll have to move the door over. That should work though, probably. I'm gonna play test this, I think, to make sure that these placements work, but this would be a pretty good spot for that shelf that I've just stolen. I might even replace the shelf with a shelf that works better with the space. Let's see. Actually, that might be funnier to just have the items around. I should be able to put the rock up there too. There we go. So that will almost certainly work. Then I just have to find homes for these guys. Don't think they're gonna fit on this. Oh, they will. Well, that's fantastic. I don't know what I'll do with that. But anyway, there are some science career items. What are we sitting at? 16. See, now technically, oh, we're over budget. I might have to break my own rules and just use the full 20,000 because otherwise I genuinely don't see how this one's gonna work out. What can I get rid of or rearrange? I can make it all short walls, which would let me make my stairs much smaller. And I could potentially then get rid of this wall and this entire room. So that room would just be gone. Move the whole kitchen situation in here. So this would be kitchen and dining and living all combined. Again, not ideal, but it's what we've got to work with. Anyway, this shrinks all of this, which is great fun. That does interfere with my upstairs here, as you can see. So I feel like the only way that would be reasonable would be to actually put a deck out here, which I really need to turn the lights back on. There we go. This area still has to be like the size that it is. I could move the ladder. We'll get there. We'll get there. I could move the ladder. I could change the bathroom so that we are essentially having it turn this direction instead. So then I'd put the toilet and the toilet paper over here. What is this? Oh, right. If I'm going to do short walls, then that's going to affect that. Okay, put that there, put that there, put that there. So anyway, that would then be functional. Now this is messing with everything if I do short wall height though. So now I would need a different arch here, which is fine. And I could make this entryway much smaller then. Probably just move this deck over so it would actually be just a little guy like that. Get rid of this window then. I'll have to move, I'm gonna move a whole bunch of stuff, don't worry, I know. I'm just talking myself through it. Short doors. Strangerville doesn't have great short doors aside from this one, so we'd have to go with something else. Not as thematically appropriate, but not terrible. Oh, yeah. I keep telling myself there's gotta be a way that this can work, so I might abandon you for a moment and keep fiddling with this, because if I have to talk and then I have to edit out stuff and whatever, so if I just don't talk for a second and I keep fiddling with the floor plan, I'll get back to you. How long have I been working on this? An hour? Oh my word. Okay, I'm back. You ready to see what I did? The answer is no, but buckle up anyway. So, I dramatically shrunk and rearranged things. I cut out the number of rooms, removed a lot of walls, so this is just going to be kitchen, dining, living, all one big room. I just don't have the money to do otherwise, and I brought the back deck back again. I know, you're shocked. Kept the little half bath here. I brought the scientist items in here. I think it's kind of like a dumping grounds. You know, you come in, you drop off your latest invention, you go say, hey honey, what's for dinner? This is a great life. Upstairs, I still have to do a little bit of rearranging, but I switched around how the stairs were, so they're coming up from the side now. This will let this room have a functional bed and still access to the tower. We have a bathroom here, which again I need to rearrange, but it will function. And then the nursery here, and in order to make sure that Sims could actually access both sides of the bed, since I believe this is a build for a console player, and console is known to having bugs, and so I don't know if the scooch function works. Both sides of the bed are accessible. We have a dresser and mirror, and again, we'll make it pretty, but it's like functional. And then same over here. So we've got a couple of weird little awkward spaces due to the stairs, but I think that this will be a better layout overall. And if I do move the door here, I could actually switch this to be like that. Which again, I don't love doing, like I don't love having these doors clipped together, but at some point you just gotta ask yourself, like, do I have an alternative option? Frequently the answer is no. I also had toys at one point. There's one of them. I'm gonna have to find these because otherwise they're just gonna be floating around and costing me money and I don't even know where they are. Oh, there's the alien. Obviously, if we could decorate more, that would be swell, but we are tight on funds. We technically are at funds. I think we're gonna have to just let ourselves do the full 20,000. If it wasn't, here's the thing. What could we have done differently in order for this to stay under budget? We would have had to ignore one of the core pieces of our prompt. We would either have to ignore the budget, which I'm leaning toward, ignore scientist and conspiracy room stuff, or ignore styling to the neighborhood. Because in order for it to be styled to the neighborhood, we really do need, like this, it's not the extra story, I guess, just the second story. The tower is just a fun perk and we needed the space anyway, so it worked out, but like, we're pushing it. And then we're just gonna have to apologize, I guess. So anyway, if we go into Strangerville stuff, so we can make a little conspiracy theory room, we obviously need the listening device, office, and chair. And if I put this on a diagonal wall, it should fit pretty well. And when you climb up the ladder, you should be able to exit this way. So we do have some couple of, well, I guess this is the only $0 element. That's okay, but I can put in a couple of these papers, so that'll help thematically. And do I have the rug that's a bunch of scattered papers? I do have this. Okay, so that'll be helpful. There we go. Conspiracy theory spy room. We have this bedroom here, which again, not super exciting. Could I get a nice rug out of any of these? Definitely looks like a baby rug, which, you know, it is, but it's also cheap. So if I could pretend that it wasn't a baby rug, I don't know, it kind of looks too much like a baby rug, I think. 20, the rest of that's going to be way more expensive. I could go in with carpet. So that's a way to make a cheap rug because it's not actually like money. You know, so we could pretend that we had a rug there, or maybe even like like that. See how it kind of looks like a rug, but it's not actually a rug? Pretty spiffy. So that might be all the decorating we're doing in there. I cannot do the same trick in here. I might be able to do the same trick downstairs though, depending on how we're able to get our furniture in here. I'm assuming at least 3 Sims live here just because it is a 2-bedroom and there's a baby, and it's like, usually it takes 2 Sims to make a baby, but who knows? This is 260, 250. Let's do this one. This fits the world better, which was part of the brief, so we are trying to hit it. So that should fit there pretty well. And then we have some living room area. What are we at? 15. So technically I'd want to stop here, like money-wise, but I think I'll give myself a little bit of extra money. We'll just keep the lot value under 20,000 and I will ask for forgiveness. I don't think we have any of those nifty angled couches today. We do not. So I can take this and place it this way, like facing the windows, which will be nice. We can have a nice little table, probably just a nice simple one. Oh, I don't like these. What are you, 90, 80, 70, 65? I'm gonna put this here. I do like it. And then I'm gonna grab a shorter one, I think this one here. And then I can grab my little old television so we can keep up with the news and our conspiracies and whatever. And I think I'll grab a stereo of some sort as well. You can be that color. And a couple of plants if I can. That'll take up a lot of visual space for not a lot of visual money. Pretty great. Could probably use a coffee table as well. Oh, that's such a large table though. Can I just use this one again? Sure, that's fine. Now, if I wanted to put a rug in here, I'd probably have to use the carpet hack again and put it like there-ish, which, you know what? I've done worse. We could even do Control F with one of these other colors and do some patterns. So that's fun. Just some stripes or something. I don't know. Let's see. Living, kitchen, dining, science stuff, 1.5 baths, 2 bedrooms, 2 questionable bedrooms, but they are 2 bedrooms. Alrighty. I'm going to add a railing here. We do not need any sort of fence upstairs, so I can ignore that, which is great. It would be nice to have some stairs going off the back deck, so I will add those here. And then we just need a little bit of landscaping to really bring this build to life fully. All things considered though, for a starter, I don't think it's that bad. Alright, I'm gonna start with just a little bit of terrain paint around the base here. What's a good cheap way to fill up a landscape? A significant amount. A pond. We could add a pond. You know what? Sure. Why not? I'm going to do almost the exact same thing I did when I built my life and death starter. So don't judge me too much for repeating the same tricks when they work. I'm gonna grab my flatten terrain tool and bring it inside my house like this. I will have to adjust. Actually, let's just delete the stairs. We'll bring those back. Anyway, bring this up and then we'll smooth it out a little bit on the sides just so it looks better. And you can use the G tool to toggle the grid as well as that overlay on and off. Grab my room. The little pink outline is just sort of a bug situation at this point. Grab my stairs, put them back. Let's actually grab some flooring. This is the way to do it. There we go. And then we duplicate the stairs, and then we put the stairs in, and then we can get rid of this, because that's a lot of money we don't need to spend. But that's how we get our stairs set up, and then we grab the pond, tools, and so now it's a little skinny house on a little skinny hill with a little pond. I can use my dirt to come around this pathway here, and I'll paint in my pond as well. And I should have a very similar gravel texture, if not the exact same gravel texture. And we need a trash can. I didn't put a trash can inside the kitchen. That's a problem. Let me see if I can get this overlay to turn off. There we go. Anyway, trash can in the kitchen. If I move this chair here, then I should be able to put a trash can here with no issues. And I will put the outdoor bin out here. I should be able to change the color of the water here. We just have a few options today. If I go with the stick one, then I grab a tree. What trees do we have in this world? I keep forgetting I have free camera mode. I can literally just go over there and look. Okay, so it is this one. You can tell by the leaves. So anyway, I can put a nice big one of these by my pond, so that'll fill up a whole bunch of space right there. I can put a nice little one over here by my house. Now, outdoor activities and skills, I have not added any. The swing sets are $400, which are very, very cute, but also $400. We could do a couple of planters. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a garden up here. That could be nice. So grab my dirt again, grab my gravel again. Was it this one? Put that there. So there are some planter pots. I do need a little bit of landscaping. Let's do some of these. So I'm going to bring these in around the lot. I don't know. I like them. I like that they're orange. They're bringing the rock colors. Speaking of rock colors, we will be going with the red rocks today, which we don't use very often, but seem to work well for this world. So, and yes, I am just using the cheapest one, resized around the lot, because I feel like that's the most budget-friendly option. And I'll grab a couple of these as well to help fill in some of the gaps where things may be floating, since we have a hill and whatever. We'll also frame out our garden bed area, add a little bit more of something happening to the pond. I think we just need to touch up terrain paint, and then I will test some things. But hopefully that's it. Hopefully we're done. It's only taken me 2 hours. Okay, let's go grab a sim and pray that this works. We are testing with the pancakes today because due to pack limitations, my self-sim may or may not be missing some core elements of the wardrobe, so we're gonna use these guys. Alright, I need you to plant these, and then we'll have Eliza work on some other playtesting. So can you sit here? I'm really not concerned about the kitchen, really. I do want to make sure that this bathroom can work. It should. Alright, I wasn't sure about the access with these science items, which I will leave alone. Oh, being able to get in both sides of the bed. That was a concern that I had. Alright, so we can get in that side of the bed. Can you go over here now? And can you sit in this side of the bed? No, come over here. Okay, there we go. I wonder if she assigned herself to the other side of the bed. But anyway, that's all fine and dandy. Where's my ladder? Ew, it probably broke when I was doing the hill, didn't it? Can you please go up the ladder? Fantastic, so that works. You guys can see that we should get off on the left side of the ladder here. Alright, and can you sit down? You sure can. Fantastic. Oh, also if we can get out this door with the little satellite thing there. But I think that's it. I think those are the only things I had to test. Everything else should be working just fine and dandy. So you can download this lot for yourself on the gallery. Turns out I only actually ended up using 4 different packs. What even did I use from here? Oh, I did use a few items. So businesses and hobbies is really not needed, but to get the full effect of the build, you will need Life and Death, Get to Work, and Strangerville. So, Strange Scientist Starter. I hope this fits your expectations. So thanks again for building with me today. I look forward to building with you again very, very soon. Let me know what you think of this build down below in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!